What is up, guys? Eric here with Team Eccentric. Here's another deck profile for you guys. So this is Infernoble. Not just regular old Infernoble though. This is Rev Synchron Power Tool Infernoble. Now, I did not come up with the concept for this deck. Actually, this is kind of inspired by Team COG, who happens to be one of my favorite Yugi tubers, especially regarding Infernoble content. If you want to learn to play this deck, definitely go to him. He, at last I checked, he was on Adventure Infernoble, I guess, which seems pretty interesting. But I don't want to use my Adventure package in the Infernoble deck. I'd rather have it in my Crystron deck. I feel like it works really well in there. But in this, this deck has some capability to it. So, yeah, so I'll get right into it. So I got, just like before, I got my extra deck and my non-engine separated. So we'll start off with engine. So starting off, this is this version of this deck. So, there's some card choices may not be, particularly meta relevant or anything like that. But this is just a fun deck that, I've been kind of testing around with, and I may maybe take to a locals at some point or something like that. So first we're playing triple Infernoble Knight Ogier. In this version of this deck, this is your best normal summon. You get to Foolish out when it's normal or special summoned. You can either Foolish a fire attribute warrior monster or a noble arms card from your deck to the graveyard. Also, it has the effect that if it's equipped to a warrior monster, or you can equip it from your grave to a warrior monster. Also, if it's equipped to a monster, that monster cannot be destroyed by card effects. So each of the Infernoble Knights follow that formula, where a lot of them have on-field effects, and then a lot of them have the ability to equip to a warrior monster from grave, and then they have a subsequent effect while being equipped. So then from there we have one Infernoble Knight Renaud. Now Renaud, generally speaking, Renaud is kind of one of the better ones. So you may question why I'm only playing one of it, but it's only there to facilitate combos. It is really strong, and there's so many ways in this deck to search your fire warriors. So playing one of this doesn't hurt. Plus, seeing it by itself does nothing. At least with Ogier, you can send something, equip it from the grave, etc., etc. Pair it with other cards. Whereas Renaud, you need cards, to initiate your combos, and then pair this with those. So that's why I play 3 of this and 1 of this. I'm also playing 1 copy of Infernoble Knight Roland. Infernoble Knight Roland is in here because it allows us to, in weird lines, you can, equip something so you can get a Turpin from your hand or grave to special summon, but also Renaud basically searches you for equip spells at the end phase so that you can equip to your Emperor Charles. I actually didn't go over what Renaud did. So what Renaud does is if you control a fire warrior, you can special summon it. And then if it's special summoned in this way, it's treated as a tuner, as well as you can target one noble arms or fire warrior in your grave or banished and add that back to your hand. So it recurs cards. Then we're playing 1 Infernoble Knight Turpin. Turpin is in here as an extra body. Basically, what it does is, if this card is in your hand or grave and you control an equip spell that's equipped to a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand or grave. But if it's special summoned from the grave, then it would be banished when it leaves the field. Also, it can equip from the grave, and also whatever warrior monster it's equipped to becomes a tuner. Then we have 1 Infernoble Knight Oliver. Oliver has another effect where you can send an equip spell or fire warrior from hand or field to grave to special summon this, and then it becomes a level 1 tuner. And it can equip from grave, and then its equip effect makes it so that the monster it's equipped to can't be targeted. Then we have 1 Infernoble Knight Ricciardetto. Ricciardetto is basically like a wolf bark. When it's normal or special summoned, you can target 1 fire warrior that's level 4 or lower in your grave, special summon it. It also has another effect where it's in hand and grave. You can banish it and then special summon 1 level 4 or lower fire warrior from your hand. Its effect, its wolf bark effect, where you would revive something by summoning this. After you do that, you're locked into warriors for the rest of the turn. And then for the last two Infernobles, we have one Maugus. Maugus is like your shuffle back and draw one. So what it does is, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can target 3 exactly noble arms or fire warriors in your grave, I believe, or banished, and then shuffle them back in for, and draw a card. The thing about the shuffle back is that it happens on activation, so it's a condition to activate the effect, so you have to shuffle the cards back in. So like if you get Ash Blossom, the cards go back into your deck and you just don't draw. But also it has the effect to equip, and its equip effect states that the monster it's equipped to can't be destroyed by battle. It's very, very good with SP to Little Knight. So then the last Infernoble Knight in the main deck is Infernoble Knight Astolfo. So I really kind of question this card's viability in this deck, but to be honest with you, in testing, it's been kind of helpful. So if it's in your hand, you can banish one fire warrior monster from your hand or grave, special summon this card, and then this card becomes that monster's level. And then it has another grave effect that's not really all that relevant. You banish it from your, or I believe you banish it from your grave. Yeah, you banish it from your grave, and then the second standby phase after this, it was activated, you can special summon this back. Each effect you can only use once per duel, not once per turn. So that's something to keep note of. It's only there as an extender. It just allows you to, build your boards a little bit more effectively. And then last but not least for the Fire Warriors is one, Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, the big boss monster of the main deck. So what this card does is you can banish one equip spell from your grave or field, and then for cost, special summon this to your field. And then while it's on your field, if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can send one equip spell you control to the grave, and then negate that card of that activation and destroy that card. Also in battle phase, if this card declares an attack, or if this card attacks or declares an attack, or yeah, so if this card declares an attack at the start of the damage step, you can equip one monster your opponent controls to it. So it removes cards, negates cards, and is just big. Pretty good. So that's it for the Fire Warriors in the main deck. I know it seems pretty pretty low in terms of the Noble Knight count, but you really don't need that many Noble Knights in order to play this deck. Like you get a lot of searching done. So this deck really just allows you to kind of like cycle through your cards very quickly. Last but not least, for the other monsters in the actual engine are 2 Revolution Synchron's. You could argue for 3, but honestly, I disagree. I think 2 is fine. If you play 3, you're gonna brick and you're gonna see multiples, and it's just not gonna be good. So that is it for the monsters in the main. Then from there, we have triple Noble Arms Museum. This card is actually nuts. It's a soft once per turn, so you can keep activating these and just keep getting their effects. So basically what this card does is, all Fire Warrior monsters you control gain 500 attack once per turn. You can pay 1,200 life points, and then add 1 Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand. If you use that effect, then once per copy, you can special summon 1 Noble Knight monster from that's equipped to a monster in your back row to your field. And also, the only downside of that is that if you do that without the Infernoble Knight Charles on your field, then you're locked into Warriors for the turn. But that's really not a problem. That's kind of the whole idea, right? So like I said, these aren't hard once per turns. These are soft once per turn. So you can, if you have 2 of them, you can just keep activating them, and each of them should generally kind of get you into another end board piece. Then we play Triple Heritage of the Chalice. This is a searcher for Noble Knights. You can add 1 Noble Knight or Noble Arms card from your deck or grave to your hand. If a Noble Knight monster you control is destroyed by battle or destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add this card back from your grave to your hand. So this card recurs, it adds, it does a lot. Then we play Triple Tuning. You want to see the Revolution Synchron as soon as possible so you can get in your Power Tool Dragon. Then for the equip spells, we play double Infernoble Arms Durandal. This one, when it's equipped to a monster, you can add 1 level. It has an ignition effect. that you can add one level 5 or lower fire warrior from your deck to your hand and then destroy this card. And then also, if the monster this card is equipped to was sent to the graveyard while this was equipped to it, you can special summon one level 5 or lower warrior from your grave. You can only use one of those effects per turn, but this card, it's one of your main searchers and it does a lot for you. Then we play one Infernoble Arms Amace. Now this card basically, when it's equipped to a monster you control, you can activate its ignition effect to equip another Infernoble Arms card from your deck to a monster you control. It has another grave effect where if it's sent to the grave with the monster that it's equipped to, then you can target a banished or engraved fire warrior and add it back. Then we have Infernoble Arms Joyce. This is probably the least effective of any of them. While it's equipped to a monster, you have the ignition effect that you can target a fire warrior in your grave and add it back to your hand. And if it's sent to the graveyard with the monster it's equipped to, then you can special summon a fire warrior from your hand. So yeah, this is pretty much the engine besides Rhoda, which we all know searches a warrior, and then Prosp, which digs 4 cards. So that's it for the spells. Now for the non-engine. So we're playing triple Nib. We all know what Nib does. Nib is busted. It's, clears your opponent's entire board, allows you to OTK. Triple Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's really good in this deck. So, well, it's good in all decks. I mean, pretty much, I guess. But, it's really good in this deck, particularly because it's fire. So you can, summon it and link up into Hita, take your opponent's Ash Blossom, or you can link into the Fire Princess. There's a lot this card does for this deck relative to other decks. So, then 1 Talents, 1 Designator, and 1 Call by the Grave. I've been swearing by 1, 1, and 1 because you have all different options for whenever you get hand trapped. So I feel like this is a really good way to go about it. It's almost like in GOAT format where your staples were like Pot of Greed, Graceful, and the Pot of Greed, Graceful, and the Delinquent Duo. It's kind of the same thing. So then, last but not least for the non-engine is triple Infinite Impermanence. Pretty much that's it for the main deck. 40 cards. I always stick to 40 cards in any deck that needs consistency. And then for the extra deck, we play 2 of the big link, Emperor Charles the Great. So Emperor Charles the Great is a house. Basically what this card does is, well, in order to summon this card, you need to have Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles on your field, equipped with an equip spell, and then you can link into this. So from there, what it does is when it's special summoned, or when it's link summoned, you can target an Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles in your grave and equip it to this. And then this card basically gains that monster's name and effects. It also has its own effects where once per turn, you can send one equip spell you control to the grave to negate a spell or trap activation that your opponent would attempt to do. So this card is an absolute house. This card is crazy. And it's not difficult to summon this card at all. So, this card is nuts. Then we have 1 Amphibious Swarmship Ambler Whale. Ambler Whale is just here for the fire plays in case you get hand trapped. Trying to go down your Infernoble line, you can at least end on, straight up fire plays. So, Ambler Whale basically allows you to either recur a link 3 or lower, and if it's destroyed, you can destroy a card your opponent controls. Then we have 1 Promethean Princess. This is basically Marincess Coral Anemone on drugs for fires, and also while it's on the field you can only summon fires. Also it has a grave effect where you can target a monster you control, destroy it, and then destroy a monster that your opponent controls that was just special summoned, and then special summon this. So recurs everything. The card is crazy. Then we have 1 Little Knight. We all know what Little Knight does. Target, banish, and then if it's link summoned using a monster summoned from the extra deck, target something in field or on field or engrave and banish. Then we have 1 Hita, the Fire Charmer, because being able to take your opponent's Ash Blossom and then go into this and just do plays that way is pretty good. That's what I mean by getting hand trapped, going into Hida, going to this, and then going to this. So that's it for the links. For the Xyz, we have one Typhon. We play Typhon specifically because it's a big body that's kind of your last resort. Plus, it's kind of a flex spot, but Typhon's really good. Then we play one Artorigus, King of the Noble Knights. This card, if it's Xyz summoned, allows you to target up to 3 Noble Arms cards in your grave and then equip them to this card. And also it has the ignition effect that during your turn, once per turn, you can detach a material from it and then target cards up to the number of Noble Arms cards you control that's equipped to your field, to something on your field, and then destroy those cards. I believe Speller Traps specifically. So this card is pretty good. And then we have one Sacred Noble Knight of King Custanin. So Custanin is basically kind of a Castel, like an archetype specific Castel, but it also has a grave effect. So basically what it does is you can detach materials from it and then target cards your opponent controls up to the number of materials that you detached, and then bounce those cards. And then it also has the grave effect where you can, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Noble Knight Xyz monster to your field and then attach this to it as material, hence this, and then it counts as an Xyz summon, so this gets all of its effects. Then we have one more Xyz monster in the form of Battle and Boxer King Dempsey. This just basically searches for Fire Warriors, in either searches or foolishes for Fire Warriors. Also, you can detach a material from it and then make it so it can't be targeted for the turn. So that's it for the Xyz monsters. And then for the for the Synchros. One Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This is the end piece to the Revolution Synchron engine. We all know what it does. One Power Tool Dragon, which is one of the main lines in this deck. So Power Tool basically allows you to reveal 3 equip spells, which this deck is essentially rooted on. And your opponent picks one of them, and then you shuffle the other 2 back into your deck. That's really good because if you notice, in the main deck we play 1 Almace, 2 Durandal. So if you need a search off of Durandal, you just reveal these, and then no matter what, you're getting a Durandal because this you just equip this and then equip Durandal to a monster on your field after that. So pretty good. Then we have one of the big boss, Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles. This is the card that links up. What this card does is, if an equip card becomes equipped to a card you control while this is on the field, you can non-target destroy something on the field. Also, during the end phase of either turn, you can equip an equip spell from your hand or grave to this card, and then equip a Fire Warrior from your deck. Pretty strong. Now, this is one of the main things. Well, the link is one of the main things at the end board, and this basically facilitates the link's really strong presence on the board. And then last but not least, one Angelica. Well, we have one more card, but Angelica allows you on Synchro Summon to search for either Noble Arms Museum or Horn of Oliphant. Horn of Oliphant is not that great. It's mid at best, and even then, like at best, you're gonna side it, and that's even if you just want to play like Noble Knights. But also it has an effect that if it's targeted by for an attack or by a card effect, you can tag it out. And then send a Fire Warrior from your deck to the grave, and then special summon a Roland Noble Knight monster from either your extra deck or your main deck. So this is how you really get into all your plays. This is the bridge from your from the beginning of your combo to your end board. This is how you get to it. And then last but not least is one Infernoble Knight Captain Roland. This, you don't really hard make this. This is only in here to be summoned off of this, but it just acts as a level 5 tuner, so you can bridge your way into this. And then also it has a grave effect where it can quick equip and then give the monster it's equipped to 500 extra attack. So yeah, this deck is very strong. It's definitely not meta as it used to be. I mean, I remember in Dark Neostorm and AGOV format, this deck was the bane of a lot of people's existence. Like, you could put up stupid boards of negation. It was just very toxic, and that's what I love about it. So in a lot of ways it reminds me of Mermail, and that's what I love about this deck, because it's literally like fire Mermail essentially, except with equip spells. So yeah, Eric here, Team Eccentric. I will be doing some test hands at some point with this deck as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, you know, pay attention to the link in the description box below. That'll be my clothing / lifestyle skateboarding sponsor. You know, I'm gonna leave that link in the description. So make sure you guys support and buy some stuff. I would really appreciate the love. So, Eric here, Team Eccentric, and I'm signing out.